So, you are probably trying to work out your calories. You've been following them. You eat desi food at home, or you live with your parents, you live with your in-laws, or a big family. And you don't really know exactly how to track your calories because you track all day and then someone makes some roti salad in the evening and that's what everyone's having for dinner. So I'm going to walk you through a system that I use and that I've used successfully with clients. And at the end, I'm going to give you access to a free tool that's actually going to work all of this out for you. So I want to dive straight in the screen and let's have a look. So let's dive into the screen just now. So examine.com is the one I like. So this is the one that I prefer to use. It's their body weight planner. So I'm just going to put in a little example here. Let's just work our way through it. So we'll just use a 90 kg. We'll do male, someone who is 35 and 175, right? Physical activity level. You can work this out here by just answering the questions here in the drop down. I won't go through it all just now, but this is kind of an average person who is, fairly active and has a desk job. Next steps here, let's say I want to get them down to, let's say 80 kilograms over the next 180 days. You click next step, and again, you can calculate this yourself, but let's say I'm going to change it by 10%. So we're just going to add in some walking. And that will get me to this screen here. And this is something that I quite like because it breaks it down for you in a way that you can understand. So if you want to lose weight, 2,411, I'm not a huge fan of obviously sticking to the numbers rigidly. No one's going to hit 2411, all right? So let's just say give or take 24 to 25. So 2,400 to 2,500 calories, which gets us a modest deficit of around 400 to 500 calories, okay? So that's kind of the general rule. Now, this is the part most people go wrong. They will take that number and they will immediately assume this is what they need to follow consistently. But this is where most people go wrong. What you got to do, you got to follow this number for 10 to 14 days. Okay, females, you might need to wait a bit longer depending on if it coincides with your menstrual cycle. But what you got to do is 14 days, follow this number. So you track your calories. Every single morning when you wake up, you track your weight. All right, so you get up, use the bathroom, do your business, and ideally naked. Don't hold a bloody huge phone in your hand or something to add extra weight. You stand on the scale. You stand on the scale, you take that number, then you write that number down, and you do it again for 14 days. At the end of day 14, provided you were doing your best to stick to the 2,400 calories, okay, you want to see what the numbers are doing. If during that 14-day period your weight started to drop a little bit, then that's as close as you're going to get to your weight loss calories, okay? So you can do the same with maintaining your weight. So if you were to follow a weight maintenance number of 2,900 to 3,000, and again, you followed it for 14 days and your weight didn't change much and it stayed fairly structured, then I would say that's a good maintenance number. But if you follow 2004 and your weight slightly dropped a little bit, that means it's as close as you're going to get to working at your deficit. Now you remain patient. And then obviously it gets a little bit trickier as you kind of hit a plateau, etc. But that's for another video. Now, that's a simple step. That's what I want everyone to do. Everyone gets the numbers. They can sit there for 5 minutes and they work out their calories, but they end up putting it all down the drain because they're not willing to be patient for around 10 to 14 days. Now, you're probably wondering, well, I stay at home. I don't have full control over my meals. In most cases you do. It's usually dinner time when everyone sits together. So this is what I propose. We'll head back into the screen just now, and in the description is a completely free tool. So what you can do is you can use MyFitnessPal and you can track your calories. All right, so use MyFitnessPal to track everything else. So let's say you were given 2,400, do your best to track. And then give yourself a bit of leeway. There's two ways to do it. You could just give yourself a little bit of breathing room of around 400 to 500 calories. So you could just consume around 1,900 to 2,000 calories and leave around 400 to 500. Or to make your life even easier is preempt what might be made later by using our free tool. Okay, so this is a Desi calculator. It's completely free. It'll be in the description below. And we've covered pretty much every common household Desi item that exists. Might be a couple of things we're still working on, but by and large, this is the majority. You find it, okay? So let's say, for example, we're having some salad tonight, okay? Let's say aloo gobi, right? Very popular. So click on it and you'll be able to work out a rough idea, or you can get a more accurate figure by putting in each individual ingredient if you want it, okay? Now, I would recommend just sticking to, the rough mode because it will be a lot easier, okay? So you come to the bottom here and you just have a little look. You will need to weigh it out a little bit. Obviously, that's the only thing, but we've done our best to work it all out for you. So what you do is you use MyFitnessPal, you track everything, and then you would preempt that you might have some aloo gobi. So that's going to be around 170 to, let's say, 200 calories. Always overestimate. Okay, so you leave yourself that much. Then what you do is you want to add that to the plate, and then you come here and you type in chapati and you click on that. Easy. If you're using wholemeal flour, it'll tell you obviously what the fiber is, and you add that to your plate and it tells you what you've got here. Easy. And that's it. The video is over. So go to the link below in the description. So you track your calories normally, doing it the Western way. And then if you want to work out what the desi numbers are going to be, you can use this in conjunction with MyFitnessPal. It's not going to replace MyFitnessPal. That database is phenomenal. It's got tons of foods on there. But when it comes to desi items, we've spent the last decade working that out for you so you can use this. So it's completely free. The tool's below in the description. Click on it. Once you've gone through it, and if you've got any questions, just let me know in the comments below. But hopefully that helps. In fact, I know it will help because we've been doing this with clients over the last 12, 13 years and we've been getting phenomenal results. Now on the subject of weight loss, I know Mounjaro is a topic a lot of people are wanting to learn more about. So before you go, I know you're eager to try out this tool, check that video out. It's going to pop up on the screen just now because even if you're not on, because whether you're on it or not, there are going to be people around you who are tempted, and I want you to inform them and educate them. So I'll see you over in that video, and I hope you enjoy this tool. And subscribe if you found this valuable.